Well, hey, everybody out there. Welcome back to the channel. It's Chris here from JMNC Games, and today we are taking a look at the fun and fast dice game MEDICI. It's for 1 to 4 players, ages 10 and up, and the average game time is just about 20 minutes. If you haven't already done so, please take a moment to like and subscribe to our channel. We greatly do appreciate that. It sure does help us grow, and if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can visit the application Buy Me a Coffee and do just that. Now let's dive in and take a look at what's inside the box. There is the score pads, 5 dice, 4 pencils, the first player marker, and a satchel. To set up, each player will need 1 score sheet and 1 pencil. Take the bottom of the box and place it in the center of the playing area. Remove the dice from the satchel and place it next to the box. Choose a player to go first and give that player the first player marker. Play will go clockwise around the table. The dice are 6-sided and show colors to indicate different products that are available down at the docks and a number value. The colors are spices, dyes, grain, fur, and cloth. Plus, there is also gold. On the scorecard, you will see the same colors here on what are called the Monopoly tracks. The game is played over 3 rounds, which are indicated here on the scorecard. Each section is your boat for that round. As the rounds go on, the boats get bigger. The top row is the amount of space that you have for different goods, and the bottom row is where you will add a running score count. This area is where you score your Monopoly tracks at the end of each round. And here is where you do your totals for each round. We will cover more on this when we go over scoring. On a player's turn, they take all 5 dice and they roll them into the box. That player now has the opportunity to select 1 or up to 3 dice to load into their ship. Whichever dice they select, they remove from the box. They now indicate those dice on their score sheet. It is important to note that you cannot take more dice than what you have space for in the boat. The other players are now going to choose 1 of the remaining dice to load into their ship. It's okay if the multiple players choose the same die. They just cannot choose any of the dice that the player who rolled did. They indicate on their scorecard the die that they chose, and now this turn is complete. The first player marker is passed, and the next player takes all of the dice, and the process repeats. Keep doing this until all players have filled their boats. Now, let's look at how you fill in your scorecard. First, you look at the number or numbers selected and write those numbers down starting on the far left of the scorecard and work your way to the right. In the second row, you will use this to keep a running tally of your score in the boat. So let's say, for example, you rolled the dice and you select 3 dice of 5 gold, 4 die, and 0 die. You would write 5, 4, 0 here on the top row. Then it's 5 plus 0 is 5, 5 plus 4 is 9, and 9 plus 0 is 9. You do this as the game goes along to save time during the scoring phase so that the game moves along more quickly. Now you must also mark your Monopoly tracks. In this case, there is no gold in the Monopolies, so nothing is marked. However, you have 2 dies. So you would mark 2 X's in the die column. However, because one of them is a 0, you will get to mark an additional X on that commodity. So you would get a total of 3 X's for this roll. So where you score none in the boat, you will gain more in the Monopoly, and because you score a lot on the gold in your boat, you will score none in the Monopoly section. Players will do the same for each time that they select a die from a roll. Now we'll look at the scoring of a round. First, you look at the ship score. That's the total number of points scored here in your boat. Players now compare their totals with the others. Depending on the number of players will determine how many points each player receives. There is a reminder here on the scorecard. So let's say it's a 4-player game. The person who has the highest boat score will receive 30 points. Second highest gets 20, third gets 10, and last gets none. Indicate those scores here on the scorecard. If there is a tie, both players receive the full award. However, this means a lower scoring reward would be eliminated. For example, 2 players tied for first, they both receive 30 points each. Second place will get 10 points, and third place will get nothing. Now we count the total number of crosses in each Monopoly tract. The player who has the most X's in the Spice tract will get 10 points. When playing with 3 or 4 players, the person with the second most will get 5. Third and fourth get none. Ties work the same way as explained before. If any players have 9 or more X's, they will get an additional 10 points, and if they have 12 X's, they get an additional 20 points. Indicate the score for each Monopoly tract here. Once all 5 have been accounted for, add all 5 together and place that total here. Now add the score from your Monopolies to the ship score, and your total score goes here. Once all 3 rounds have been completed, add your total score of each round together and indicate that here. The player with the highest score is the winner of the game. And that's how you play Medici. Thanks for joining us today. We sure hope you enjoyed our short explanation on Medici. If you've got any questions on the game, please feel free to drop them down in the comments below, and I'll be sure to answer those as quickly as I can. Well, now we know the basics, so let's play.